Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends, and welcome to JCB Live, another wine style with Rafael.
Thank you.
So today is going to be so exciting because we could say sometimes that the world is your oyster, but today the world is your lobster.
Yes, sir.
So we decided, Rafael and I, to go all the way to Maine, to the capital of lobster. As you could see, the best and the most exciting lobster. As you know, there's hard shell and soft shell. So we decided to go for the hard shell because it's richer, sweeter, and maybe more opulent on the mouth. We'll talk more about that in a moment because the recipe today, Rafael, will be
mac and cheese. This will be so simple and delicious. I'm gonna walk you guys step by step. It'll be perfect.
And who doesn't want mac and cheese, specifically with a little bit of twist of bechamel
Hell yeah.
and lobster? So to accompany this, we're delighted to introduce, and maybe for some of you, on this magical day, it's still snowy and icy where you are. It was when we went to Maine to get this lobster. But we are experiencing the spring in the heart of Napa Valley. So we had to bring one of our most springy wine that makes me think of Japan in many ways. Why? It has that Mount Fuji apple flavor profile, which is unbelievable. That is so Napa Valley and so Raymond. This is this fabulous 2018 Sauvignon Blanc that we love, the Reserve. And beautiful aromas of grapefruit, white peach, and of course it's Mount Fuji apple, which is fabulous. So we know it's going to go very well with it, and then we'll have it both ways because it's going to be all about Raymond today. But Rafael, why don't you start telling us about this magical dish?
Well, today is a very exciting day. So for this recipe, we're using I cooked some pasta already. I'll put macaroni. I got a mix of comte and gruyere, so 24 months of age. All this cheese you can find at Oakville grocery.
And this is again the Jura cheese. It's not gruyere, it's not Emmental, it's not any of those beautiful as well hard cheese. This is aged in the valley of the Jura in beautiful caves with a little sea salt on top. This is why you have that's
the good mix, huh?
Unbelievable mix. Very important for the mac and cheese.
Yeah, and I'm gonna mix up a little bit of the Parmesan in there. So the Parmesan is gonna give a nice tanginess right at the end. So that's what we're looking for. I'm gonna put a nice breadcrumbs or panko right on top. I'm gonna do some tartufata. Tartufata is a mix of with the truffle and mushrooms, of course. You can also find them at Oakville grocery. Delicious. It's just very inexpensive, and literally it's just a little touch. It makes a lot of difference. A good flavor for those people that really loves truffle. That they don't want to spend $1,000 in a truffle. You can use that.
We did both today because we're going to be excessive.
Yeah,
because we want to have a great dinner tonight.
Yeah,
but those smell very good.
Yes, the tartufata is really amazing. You can find them at Oakville, online of course, but please go to Oakville, don't go anywhere else. I have some flour, nutmeg, and cloves. So what I like to do, I have milk simmering already. If you see it, I have about 6 cups of whole milk. And I'm simmering with some half an onion. So I cut the onion, clean it. And what I like to do, this is my secret, and this is my, what I like to do that, put cloves around the onion. It's gonna give an amazing flavor. And trust me, it's no like putting mustard in there, all the crazy, it's just simple, very clean, simple ingredients, and it's gonna go a long way, like really nice. So did you put like 6, 7, 8 cloves, depends, you know? Do that like that, and that's gonna go in the milk. But I'm not gonna do that anymore. I just wanna show you how to do it. I have the cloves already in the milk, and this has been simmering for let it simmer for at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. And it's gonna get all the flavor of the onion with the clove. So it'll be amazing, right? So the next step we're going to do, I got the cheese in here. So my milk has been simmering, like I said, for 20 minutes. Now my next step I'm gonna melt some nice nice butter. Right, I'm gonna make my roux for it. I'll do at least one stick. And at this point, I'm gonna add half a cup of flour. Right? And I'm gonna mix it up. All in there. You see that? Okay. So we're making the roux for this. See? Melt it up. Nice. Until it melts up. Right? And always if you think it needs a little more flour, please add some more in there. So that's that. My squeeze out.
Isn't it looking gorgeous, the onions as such, adding a lot of flavor. And what is exciting, dear friends, is as you probably already know, the lobsters change their shells, similar to a snake. The soft shells and the new hard shells. And the water gets in between and it marinates the meat, which makes it very soft. And it's the perfect time is between December to March and April. So we are in February. This is the perfect time to have this hard shell. You basically recognize it because it looks much darker than the light orange color of a lobster. This is that deeper, richer, more intense color that is deeper red. So that's the main difference. And I'm a big fan of that softness of the meat, which will be very gentle with the cheese. So you want it to really bring that softness to the lobster.
So this is the consistency you're looking for, nice and creamy, and it's not broken, not separated, the flour's been cooked. So that's what you need. So now we're gonna add it in there.
And I'm keeping sipping on the wine. And Rafael, this is really, really good. It's so nice to have a wine that for a few months was as well aged in our French fabulous barrel from the Tronchet forest. And you have a wine which is very crisp, very fresh. You want to go in the garden and start to smell all the new comings. And I know it sounds early, but in California, we're having a warm winter now. Very cold mornings, which is fabulous for the grapes. And then we have a warm day. So perfect time. With all those aroma, I think Sauvignon Blanc is always underrated. We always think Chardonnay, 8 times out of 10. But I really recommend for you that you got to experience Sauvignon Blanc because Napa does the best, and Raymond specifically.
So now I'm gonna show you real quick the consistency you're looking for. You don't want something too thick. You want it like kind of runny. See, thick.
Ooh.
See, nice and creamy.
Can I? No.
Go ahead.
Ow! Ah! That was hot.
So at this point, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna start adding my cheese, right? You know, a little bit at a time.
This is the good part, Dylan.
You know,
look at that close.
Mix it up.
You gotta do it gently. Can I put a little Sauvignon Blanc in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it needs to be our recipe.
Ooh la la.
You see, that's how you add a twist. Do you remember we did that in the fondue and it made it phenomenal. So that's the key.
Yeah. So that's that, you know. We'll mix it up again.
And not too much flour because...
No, you don't want it to be flour. You're going to be able to taste all the good flavors of the cheese.
That's right.
You know?
And the art is to go slowly. Remember the béarnaise. Remember the hollandaise sauce. This is bechamel, right?
This is
the dream is bechamel.
To make a nice... So this is your base. You can use it for the cheese, for the mac and cheese. You can use it to make the croque madame, the croque monsieur, you know, with all these nice...
We've shown you that before. You put a little layer of bechamel, you know, before you melt the cheese, and croque madame, you break the egg. And that add that whole dimension that no one understands why croque monsieur, croque madame is so good. That's the bechamel. This was actually one of the first recipes I've ever learned as a child. My mother said, you put that anywhere, you're safe, you're gonna have a lot of texture. And she's right. because that adds the texture.
And I'm gonna do about a teaspoon, finish it with a nice teaspoon of nutmeg.
I'm so
You love that
fan.
stuff, huh? Yeah, you're so fan of it. And then a little bit of black pepper.
A little salt, or
Yeah, and some salt.
even though we had some in the cheese, it's still.
Yeah, but this cheese is not salty, it's really mild, you know what I mean? All the other cheeses are very salty, so it's good.
Look at what's gonna go in there.
So that's that, and my secret ingredient is creme fraiche. If it's not good enough.
Remember what Paul Bocuse said. You don't like butter. You don't like crème fraîche. Then you have nothing to do in my restaurant. This is always what we need. And you know, there's a lot of bechamel. So don't think you need to be excessive, but you need it, right?
Yeah, of course. Now I'm gonna have, I'm not gonna add it there because it's too much. So this way you can, you know, add it and mix it as you go. So I'm gonna put it in my pot. Boom, boom, boom.
Ooh, we're gonna have a great party.
Hells, si senor.
It's gonna be good.
And then I have my cheese. Just gonna mix what I'm gonna use, you know. This is amazing. Look at that.
Oh.
Now she's gonna melt the lobster real quick in there. Let's be generous.
Well, luckily Dylan is very hungry today. He's been telling me he's been doing a lot of exercise. I just wonder what kind of exercise he's been doing.
Ooh.
But look at this. Oh!
And I really wanna like make sure that all the cheese gets into the. Look at this. See that?
Let's put a little Sauvignon Blanc again.
Let's go.
I know. Well, because it's gonna be time now
So now I wanna taste it.
to serve a little family classic. Dear friends, this is our North Coast.
A little more salt
Yeah.
and more salt.
Shall we try along the way just to make sure we're on the right path?
All right, let's go, sir. Oh, you know what we almost forget?
Yes!
Far, the third to far.
That's it!
This is gonna go from here to here.
You see, it's all those little
Components.
minutious, subtle components that makes the dish that je ne sais quoi bombshell that you're gonna love. So now, another flavor from Napa Valley and the North Coast at large. This is our great family classic. It's actually one of my favorite one at Raymond. And I know you're gonna say, what? It's not Generation or Salon Privé or 1.5 acre. It's not our most expensive whatsoever. It's the family classic, which you can really get for $20, $25, but I love the label. And this is the beautiful view we have from Raymond, and as you could see, the famous Mount Sant'Elena at the end of the view. So this is a Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, between the Sauvignon Blanc, the Cabernet, you don't spend a fortune, you have two great wines, and you have a great time. And you do a dish that is not that expensive unless you add the lobster or eventually the truffle.
This will be perfect for a date.
Well, we're gonna try.
Now she's gonna top it up with some breadcrumbs.
Shall we try how it tastes first?
I had a surprise for you.
Aha. So let me see, just to make sure.
You know. That, boom.
Mm. I'm gonna go twice because it's only Rafael and I.
So this one, boom. This is gonna go in the oven for at least 15 minutes at 375 degrees. If it needs more, you're looking for a nice caramelization, go ahead. And I have some ones that I already baked.
Look at this! 20 minutes later.
20 minutes later.
Woohoo! Look at those
This
babies!
is what they've been baked and ready to go. See?
It's hot, be careful now, Rafael. We don't want to be burned just after we eat it.
There we go. And then we can just top it up with a couple nice slices of truffle.
This is our beautiful Urbani truffle that we got from our friends. As you know, we did a fabulous tasting and we will do another one with them. One of the best to source the truffle that we have occasionally at the Oakville grocery as well. So
So dear friends,
Rafael, isn't it fun?
easy, no?
You did it! I need to commend you. This was so easy to follow. And bechamel is really the key, right?
Yeah, bechamel is the key.
That's really the key, having the right cheese, the truffle. Let's have a toast. I know you wanted to stay on Sauvignon Blanc. I'm on the Raymond North Coast Family Classic, you know, Cabernet Sauvignon. And dear friends, to the world is your lobster. Remember, the hard shell, but it's soft inside. It's fabulous. It's very nicely chewy. You're gonna have a great time. So to Maine, to Italy for that pasta.
Yes.
Because we didn't make those, we just bought coquillette, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And to the French for the cheese and Napa Valley for the wine.
Thank you.
Have a great time.